After graduating from college, this football All-American seemed to be living the American dream.
I was making almost twice as much money, and I was miserable. I just could not figure out what it was I should be doing.
Find out why he says God made him whole and gave him a new life and an unexpected career. All that and more on today's 700 Club Interactive. Good morning and welcome to the show. It's the story that shocked a nation. 9 black churchgoers shot and killed during a prayer service in Charleston, South Carolina.
As for the families of those victims, they will never forget that June 2015 night. But they're also quick to extend forgiveness through a movement called Hate Won't Win.
This is Charleston, South Carolina, where remnants of the past linger on every corner. It's home to more than 400 churches, their symbols of faith etched into the horizon.
Charleston is referred to as the Holy City simply because of its number of churches. During the days of the American Revolution and such, it was considered a place of relative religious freedom for groups such as the French Huguenots, the Catholics, and even the Jews.
And tucked away near the Charleston Harbor stands Mother Emanuel, an AME church whose history stretches back to the days of slavery. The congregation settled here in 1891 and became a beacon of hope during the 1960s, advocating civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King Jr.
I don't see the answer to our problem in riots. So my slogan is not burn, baby, burn. My slogan is build, baby, build. Organize, baby, organize.
He told the audience, I believe consistently in nonviolence. From a moral point of view, this isn't the way. From a practical point of view, this isn't the way.
Mother Emanuel listened, and through the years, they lived and preached in love, acting as agents of peace in times of disunity. Then hate challenged their resolve.
All units responding, 110 Calhoun State.
Give me at least 4 medic units.
June 17, 2015, members of Mother Emanuel welcome a stranger into their Wednesday night Bible study. An hour later, that stranger opens fire.
Respond to incident 10, incident 10.
I copy several victims, advising of an active shooter, multiple people down.
One of the men in the Bible study was Reverend Daniel Simmons Sr., a church staff member and beloved grandfather of 4.
My dad called me and told me, hey, I might be going to Charleston. There was a shooting at your grandfather's church. Whether he was there or not, I'm on my way. I got home, I turned on CNN, and it was like breaking news. I was watching and praying all night. We really didn't want that to be him.
Daniel Simmons was a Vietnam War vet and 4th-generation preacher. He answered to the name Dan, but those at Mother Emanuel knew him as Super Simmons.
My grandfather was a very strong individual. He was very strong-willed, and it was hard to convince him of anything that he didn't already know. In the same respect, I would say that he was very strong in his faith. In his home, we saw like a stack of sermons that he just written out. He had a sermon for almost anything that you can think of. He loved the AME church. I don't think that he would have preferred to be any other place, knowing how much he loved to study the Bible.
At 9:05 this evening, we received a call of a shooting that had occurred at the church here on Calhoun Street. There were 8 deceased individuals inside of the church.
But the 9th victim, Alana's grandfather, was still breathing. He suffered multiple gunshot wounds and was rushed to the hospital. As Alana waited to hear if he had made it through surgery, the reality of what had happened began to sink in.
Police are still looking for the shooter. He's described as a clean-shaven white male in his early 20s.
The only reason someone could walk into church and shoot people praying is out of hate.
The Department of Justice has opened a hate crime investigation into this shooting incident.
How did this happen? Why did this happen? I can't believe this happened. They're God's people. I wanted him to be able to survive this situation. I wanted to be able to just talk to him one more time.
Hours later, Alana got another call. Her grandfather didn't make it. And 8 victims became 9.
I was devastated to lose someone to a race crime like that, especially in the middle of prayer. It makes you angry to think that we're still in that same place of hatred that we were years and years ago.
The suspected gunman has been identified as 21-year-old Dylan Roof. He was captured just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, 12 hours after opening fire on an historic black church.
The only thing that I could pray for was peace for my family and for the city. Racial tensions rise and the community is divided. That's what I expected.
And I will tell you, there's a lot of prayer in this state. And so you are going to see all of us try and lift these 9 families up in prayer because they need us.
The blood of the mother Emanuel 9 requires us to work.
The world cannot understand why we're not crying at this moment, why we're not bitter.
2 days after the shooting, a bunch of us marched to Mother Emanuel. We were clapping and singing spirituals like, "Victory is mine, victory is mine, victory today is mine." As we were getting up to the church and singing these songs, we heard this foreign sound coming from the middle of the street. And we turned around. The Jewish community of Charleston made a circle in the middle of the street and did the Kaddish, which is their Hebrew prayer of the dead, as a gesture of solidarity with us in that tragedy.
The following day, the surviving families came together for Ruth's bond hearing. With emotions running high, a few of the family members approached the front of the courtroom to confront the man who had murdered their loved ones.
Took something very precious away from me. I would never talk to her ever again. I would never be able to hold her again. But I forgive you.
I forgive you and my family forgive you. But we would like you to take this opportunity to repent. Give your life to the one who matters the most, Christ.
Every fiber in my body hurts, and I'll never be the same. But may God have mercy on you.
I'm certain that at the time that my grandfather served in the Army, and at the time that he even grew up, that he was mistreated simply because of the way that he looked. He never in his life would have been the kind to harbor negative feelings. He had to forgive them so that he could go on and live in love.
And she knew there was only one way that she could truly honor his memory: by forgiving his killer.
Although my grandfather and the other victims died at the hands of hate, this is proof. Everyone's plea for your soul is proof that they lived in love and their legacies will live in love. So hate won't win.
What started as a show of forgiveness in a courtroom has now become a movement that Alana calls Hate Won't Win. It is inspiring communities all over the country, and it is all in honor of her grandfather.
To show you that I can love you and you can love me, and we can work together to better our community. That's what Hate Won't Win movement is all about. I know that he's looking down on how we've chosen to carry on his legacy, that he would be very, very proud of what we're doing.
While the tragedy within these walls will never be forgotten, the 9 lives taken out of hate live on in the hearts of those who have chosen to love.
One thing that we can say for now is that there was this city called Charleston who refused to listen to the voices of madness and chose wise counsel and handled the situation with grace and dignity.
Knowing my grandfather, he wouldn't have had it any other way. Yes, I lost my grandfather. Yes, other people lost their lives. Yes, hate brought us here, but look where love is going to take us.
Well, God bless the people of Emanuel AME Church. You know, Terry, I can't speak for you, but watching that, you mourn all over again for the victims and their families, and you have this heaviness and this grief, yet at the same time, your spirit feels empowered seeing what Jesus Christ has done in the lives of those families.
You know, he calls us to lay down our rights. These people had a right to be angry, a right to be bitter about their loss, but they chose a different and a better path. And they not only are better for it themselves, their community is better for it, but really they speak to all of us.
We're all better for it.
There being a better way.
And it gives pause to consider that decades and decades and decades of that church body pursuing the Lord and being devoted to Him. And it's really empowered them all these generations later in handling this type of grief. You know, legacies are most impactful at times like this. I mean, a legacy is usually something, you know, a life well lived, a decision well made, but it's not until it's challenged that you really come to the place of saying to her grandfather and this church and this community, thank you. They could have turned this country upside down easily. And yet what they did to the people in this country is have us say, wait a minute, where's the anger and bitterness and hostility we're expecting that would be normal? But they're quite a witness to the power of the Holy Spirit, and what a powerful group of ambassadors for Jesus Christ. Held up a standard worth following. Amen. Amen. Well, coming up, our servicemen and women give their lives sacrificially to serve and protect. Find out how CBN partners are serving our military in times of need. That's when we return. As a military family, Billy and Lindsay lived on a tight budget. And when they decided to adopt 2 children, there was no extra money for clothes, for furniture, or for adoption fees. So CBN's Helping the Homefront stepped in to make up the difference.
U.S. Army soldier Billy didn't plan on a career in the armed forces, but 9/11 changed his mind.
When I saw those towers fall, I mean, I really connected to, serving your country. I needed to focus on what it means to be an American and doing my part.
Billy joined the Army and deployed to the front lines, leaving his wife Lindsay behind, pregnant with their first child. Lindsay supported his decision to enlist and trusted God to bring him home.
Every military wife has that fear. Will they come back? You just kind of let go. You put your trust in God. You just take one day at a time.
45, keep going. Since that first year, the couple has navigated through multiple deployments and raised 4 kids. Lindsay says Billy does a great job balancing his career and family.
I'm very proud of Billy giving all this time to our country, to our family, and being the example that he has been.
Billy believes it's Lindsay who deserves the recognition.
The spouses are the backbone of this country, because without them, there's no way we could do anything, and do what we do.
The family dynamics changed dramatically when the couple took in 2 siblings being raised by their grandmother. When she got sick and could no longer care for them, Billy and Lindsay were approved to adopt the boys. That meant reworking the family budget.
We had to analyze our finances. My mind was racing, looking at our finances in our current situation. God's guiding us, so I know that He's always provided. He continues to provide.
Billy and Lindsay are members of First Baptist Church Killeen near Fort Hood, Texas. The church contacted Helping the Homefront and asked if CBN could help with the adoption fees. We said yes. Pastor Randy Wallace stopped by to let them know that CBN would help.
They wanted to provide y'all with $5,000 to help with the future legal fees. And we as a church are thrilled to be a part of that as well.
And that wasn't the only surprise.
They want to take you on a shopping spree to Sears, and they're going to spend hundreds of dollars today with you at Sears, making sure that your kids have fresh tennis shoes. And blue jeans. And whatever else y'all need.
Thank you.
We ought to do more than just stand back and applaud. And that's where their organization has already come to the table with that.
That is cool. Which one do you like?
CBN took the family shopping to buy what they needed to accommodate all the children. Now this Army family can focus on finalizing the adoption with a little less financial stress.
Helping the home front has definitely changed our story and could definitely change other military family stories to make a dream come true that they didn't even know they could even ask for. We're so thankful.
It's great to be able to help a wonderful family like that, isn't it? I love what the pastor said. We ought to do more than just sit back and applaud. And you know, we ought to do more than just sit back and have compassion for people in need too. And we can. That's the great news. By joining the 700 Club, you're joining with thousands of people who are out to touch lives, to change families, to make a difference right smack in the middle of people's needs. Do that. It's 65 cents a day, $20 a month. You'll be joining with many, many of us who are looking around the world saying, God, use our giving, use our prayers, use our unity together to make a difference. And He is. Would you like to be a part of that? Numbers toll free. It's 1-800-700-7000. All you have to do is call and say, I'd like to join the 700 Club. You can also do that by logging on to 700clubinteractive.com. And we welcome your participation. There are families and individuals just waiting for you and me to step up and make a difference. So we say thank you. Andrew?
Thank you, Terry. Well, coming up next, a wonderful story. It's about a football All-American who wants to become, of all things, an opera singer.
I was riding through downtown Boston. I think I pulled over and went in and said, hey, look, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I kind of sing a little bit.
We're going to find out if his audition was successful when we return. Well, of the over 1 million boys competing in high school football, only 2% of those will play at the Division I level in college. Morris Robinson was one of the few, and he was an All-American. But God had other plans for his life in front of another audience. CBN contributor Mo Isom has the story.
There were so many things that happened along the way of this journey that Morris Robinson could not have manufactured. God has a plan for all of us, and we don't know what it is. You have to be patient and wait on Him, and He will guide you.
How would you finish this sentence? God made me
whole.
Whole. Why is that?
I've been able to experience a lot of different things in life. I was a full-time athlete. A lot of kids dream of that. Being able to go to play Division I college football and be on the team and hang out with the fellas. I did that. God gave me a life in the business world. He gave me a family. I'm a dad. You know, I've gotten to do all these things, but the one thing that He's really blessed me with to kind of bring it all together is the ability to express myself musically. I had no idea at all, no aspirations, no hopes and dreams at all of being a professional singer. Like that never crossed my mind. My mother was always in my ear saying, you know you should be singing, you know, you should never walk away from music. She made me join the pastor's choir, you know. At the African American church, the kids' choir is always the pastor's choir. So I was in the pastor's choir, and I didn't want to be a singer. I wanted to be the drummer, you know, but I was too young to do that.
Yeah.
So James Cleveland had a song called Can't Nobody Do Me Like Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And they would play it on the stereo all the time. And it was really, I got busted singing it. I was in my room. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. And my mom was like, was that you? No, it wasn't me. And next thing you know, I'm standing in a chair on Sunday morning because I was so little, they couldn't see me over the banister. I was standing in a chair, and I'm singing it. And it was like on WAOK radio, and they had the tape recorders, so there's probably a recording of it somewhere.
So you go from playing at the Citadel, All-American, NFL aspirations, but that becomes a closed door. You move into sales, and you're in it for almost a decade.
My second or third year at 3M, I was like rep of the year. I sold, I don't know, 500,000 diskettes to the International Monetary Fund in DC or something like that. And I was nailing it, and I was doing great at it, but it was just like, this isn't really what I had in my spirit.
Was there a certain point in that 10-year window where that became a weight, or where that really began stirring?
I just knew that I needed to be doing something else. So at the time I thought, I just need another job. You know, I got to do something else. This is, I'm doing this and this is great, but maybe if I made more money and had a bigger opportunity and controlled a larger territory, I'd feel better and I'd make more money, you know. So I took the job with Division of Exxon in Monsanto, selling thermoplastic elastomers in New England. And it got worse. Like, I was making almost twice as much money, and I was miserable. Like, I just could not figure out what it was I should be doing. It was while I was there, I auditioned for the New England Conservatory of Music.
But what compelled you to take that audition?
I was riding through downtown Boston. I think I pulled over and went in and said, hey, look, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I kind of sing a little bit, you know. And I got the application, I filled it out and went in like a few weeks later and sang the national anthem for them. And they were like, have you ever thought about singing opera? I was like, no. Well, with a voice like yours, you should. So that was kind of like the beginning of this journey. Some people think, you know, this guy, does he work hard at this? Why is it happening for him? They have no idea how much I rely on the strength and the guidance of the Lord who has given me this.
What advice would you give to someone who might be watching, who is in the thick of what they believe to be the American dream and doesn't have peace?
I always say that, you know, God will reveal his plan for you, and you just have to wait it out. It may seem insurmountable and unbearable, but you stay with what you're doing, and the Lord will present an opportunity for you.
Morris Robinson. Terry, I love when he walks out on stage at the very end. The crowd erupts, cheering for him. He's such a likable guy.
Oh, my goodness.
Fantastic story. And the courage it took him to stop in and say, hey, I'm going to...
Who does that? Who stops their car and says, I kind of sing a little at the opera?
Overcoming his fear.
Unbelievable.
And stepping out into what God had gifted him.
Yeah, but what a sound, my word. You know, it's just so interesting. One of the things I love about his story is he's not afraid to say, I tried what everybody else thought was successful and a big deal, and I was making money and doing all the right stuff, but it left me empty inside. And you know, you just get the feeling from him, if planting trees had been what gave him joy, he would have done that.
Very few people will turn away from the large income, the significant income, for what the pursuit of joy would be, right? And what God has for them. And sometimes it does take years. Lord, what is the plan you have for my life? And so often I think men in particular think their identity is just in their job.
Yes. Well, and in a job like that, a job that every other man probably wants and would love to have, but isn't necessarily right for you. Also loved the little voice of his mother in his life going, never turn away from the music. Mama's voice comes back to...
And he could have easily gone through a lot of identities, right? I'm an athlete, I'm a salesman, now I'm a singer. But he seems through it all to have that foundation in the Lord.
And you know, there's something he says there that I think is so significant to all of us, and that's that sometimes you keep on keeping on and you just gotta wait it out. I mean, I think God sometimes, that's the training session right there, is will you wait, will you trust me enough to wait for my best to come your way?
That's hard for people. I've been in that situation where, okay, am I supposed to make the move or is God gonna reveal it? Maybe he's waiting for me to step out.
If you're not sure, stay where you are.
Good advice. Good counsel.
Hold fast.
That's right. It's really true, though, isn't it?
It is true. You know, God doesn't make any mistakes. He's always right on time. And when he wants us to move, he's perfectly capable of giving us a green light that says now. Today's the day.
A friend of mine recently was going through, what do I do? Where do I go? Do I stay? And he said, ultimately, I know God knows my address and phone number. If he's going to plant me somewhere else.
He sure does. He sure does. Great story.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We leave you with chapter 29 of the book of Jeremiah. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Thanks again for being with us. For Terry Mewson, I'm Andrew Knox, and we'll see you next time on 700 Club Interactive.